this is Jennifer Schaefer, People's Realtor of Colorado, coming back to you today with Robert Greene's 9th law of power: win through your actions and never through an argument. And I think this is a particularly useful law for buyers to keep in mind, especially if you are one of those people who can get your heart set on a particular property, fall in love with the home, and then become so laser focused with tunnel vision that you lose sight of all other options, as well as the best way to achieve what you actually want to achieve. And the reason I say that is because you can become desperate without knowing it, but worse than that, you can actually exude the signs of desperation to a seller, and they can use that to their advantage to end up with a better deal. And in particular, this is a problem with love letters. And love letters, just to give a brief overview, are letters that are drafted by you and your realtor to convince a seller that you are the perfect buyer for a home. And I'll leave aside for today the legal issues that the Real Estate Commission of Colorado has been raising with love letters, because they can actually cause violations of federal and state fair housing laws regulating discrimination. So they're dangerous in that sense. But just from a strategic perspective, let's say you do write a love letter to a seller. Most sellers, if you follow the principle of capitalism that individuals and entities are rational actors that will act in their own economic best interests, they're probably going to take that love letter and use it to their advantage by saying, well, if you want this house so badly, I'd be delighted to sell it to you. You just need to maybe raise your sales price because, there's so many other buyers who want it as badly as you do. And, they might negotiate something like you covering more of the closing costs, or really even a post-closing occupancy agreement where they get to continue to live in the house after you've completed the sale. So I hate to bust the bubbles. No, I don't. I'm busting the bubbles of anybody out there who has an ego. I sympathize. You have an ego that makes you think that other people should care what you want and what you need. But the reality of the situation is that in most cases, your wants and your needs are not going to be the seller's top priority. Their top priority is going to be to get the best possible deal for themselves. So love letters are just a really bad idea unless you have a fact-based or good reason to expect that a seller really cares about who's going to move into their home after they're gone, or they are just so kind and generous hearted that they're going to actually put your needs ahead of theirs. It's not usual. It's not common. It's actually very rare. And it's not the right thing to do in most circumstances. So just keep in mind, better than a love letter, if you want to win a seller over to your side as a buyer who has your heart set on a particular home, the right thing to do is to work with your realtor, call the seller's agent, and say, what is the seller really looking for in a winning offer? What have other buyers offered? And what would actually make for a more competitive offer than the other ones on the table? And by developing that empathy, that sense of what the seller really wants and needs, you win through your actions instead of through an argument. It's much more effective, and that is how to use Robert Greene's 9th law of power: win through your actions, never through an argument. I'm Jennifer Schaefer, People's Realtor of Colorado, and if you are considering buying or selling property in the state of Colorado, please reach out to me through my website and social media, which are linked in the description below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.